Good afternoon. Hold it. Good afternoon and welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View this Friday, the 31st of July, and the football season starts in earnest. Yes, the football season does start tonight. First game, who cares about the first game? It's all about Celtic, isn't it? Martin O'Neill's interview. We're going to go through Martin O'Neill's interview today. First of all, Kelechi Iheanacho. I need to get the Kelechi Iheanacho. There it is. I'm going to show you the Kelechi. Kelechi Iheanacho has made a statement around about an hour ago, and thanking the Celtic fans. Kelechi, to the Celtic FC. What we achieved last season was truly incredible. I will forever be grateful for the opportunity to represent your great football club. My thanks to Brendan Rodgers for bringing me to the football club. Thank you to Martin O'Neill and his staff. Special thanks to my teammates. I will miss you guys. To the amazing fans, thank you for your unwavering support. I wish you all the very best for the upcoming season and beyond. Love, Kelechi. He scored some important goals for us last season. I did wonder where Kelechi Iheanacho would fit into a Martin O'Neill team when you see the fact that we went out and bought Camilo Duran and Kasper. Would we have brought in Kasper if we had any Kelechi at the club, Kel's at the club? Would we have brought in Duran? I don't know. As it stands tonight, on the eve of the season, the Celtic squad are weaker than where we've finished the season. And that's disappointing from a Celtic perspective, from a fan's perspective. Martin O'Neill was asked about, what's happening. Is there going to be other players coming in? He was asked about Kelechi. He was asked about, not Kelechi, because I'm reading that. He was asked about Alistair Johnston. And we'll talk about Alistair Johnston, obviously, before we talk about the Arne Engels situation. He confirmed that West Ham had made an offer for Arne Engels. It's been speculated that the offer for Arne Engels is only £10 million. That's speculation. There's also speculation that Everton have made a £10 million offer for Arne, for fucking hell. Jesus Christ, get it right, man. For Alistair Johnston. That valuation is the offer for Arne Engels is nowhere near Celtic's valuation. You remember we turned down 25 million for the player in the last transfer window. Martin O'Neill says that, Arne Engels was fantastic after that. He played on the rest of the season and he was great. He does want away from the club. You can see that in his body language. That's been clear for all to see since the pre-season has started. I think that his agent has probably been having words in his ear saying, I'll get you a better deal somewhere else. We just need the clubs to make contact with Celtic. David Moyes personally phoned Martin O'Neill. I like David Moyes for that. His proper old school manager. Respect. Do you know what I mean? You pick up the phone and you go, Martin, I really like Alistair Johnston. Is there any chance? Martin O'Neill goes, well, not really. I wouldn't want you to come in and try and make an offer for Alistair Johnston. I really want to try and keep him. And then at least David Moyes went, look, I think we're going to make an offer next week. And Martin O'Neill went, well, fine, make the offer, but we don't need to accept it. And that's it. Martin O'Neill says he wants to keep Alistair Johnston. That's a massive one itself. The fact that David Moyes did that. He's a man that's been linked with Celtic numerous times over the years. He's a man that was well in with a chance of getting the job when Brendan Rodgers got the job the first time round. A lot of people wouldn't want Moyes as manager. I think his chance of being Celtic manager is now gone. It's well past that. I'm not worried about that. But he is a decent guy for doing it. Anyway, Celtic don't want to sell Alistair Johnston. That's the most important thing that I took away. That Martin O'Neill knows that if a player does well in the World Cup, you know that you're going to create interest. Martin O'Neill was asked about, does this change anything when it comes to the transfer window? And Martin O'Neill says, do you know what? Not really, because I thought about this before I even left. There's going to be some of these players will leave the club in the summer, so we're going to have to bring them in. The fact is that we've still only made 2 signings at this stage of the window. And they're good signings. I'm not going to say that they're fantastic signings, but we can't praise the club for 2 great signings when look at all the players that have left. If we lose, if the worst thing was to happen, he was asked about Alistair Johnston in training, and people say, look, when Matt O'Reilly was here, Matt O'Reilly trained like an absolute trooper right up until the last day. So it didn't leave me filled with confidence. And I hope that Alistair Johnston, a lot of fans are saying that Alistair Johnston's potential captain material. I hope Alistair Johnston's not turning around to the club and going, do you know what, I might actually see what they've got to offer. When it comes down to money, you never know. Martin O'Neill wants to keep Alistair Johnston. He said that ultimately he would like to keep Arne Engels. Arne Engels going to West Ham, who aren't in the top flight. What can we offer him? We can offer him Champions League football. But when you move to a richer league, it does become difficult, said Martin O'Neill. Martin said before he even took the job, he expected some of the biggest players would attract bids. He said when it comes to new signings, their plans are in place, and there's plans in place to bring players in, and when departures happen, we need to strengthen the squad. We need to strengthen the squad anyway. It's bonkers. O'Reilly was absolutely world above Engels. If we get the same for Engels as we did for O'Reilly, football is broken. That's an interesting one. AJ is captain material. Unfortunately, that's not enough to keep a player these days, says Sean. Fantastic. Who's blocking comments? Nobody's blocking comments, not that I can see. No, there's no comments getting blocked. If it's getting blocked, it's because you've been saying something. There's nobody blocking comments. So what are you saying that for? Yeah, we were in for him in the last transfer window also, Anyway, we move on, because Casper Ho, he was asked about Casper Ho, and he says he's a lively character. He's very lively and very talkative. He said when he had big players before, he had John Hartson, he had Chris Sutton, and he had Henrik Larsson. Henrik Larsson wasn't the most vocal in training. He wasn't the most vocal on the he'd done his talking on the pitch, and he says Casper is he's a live wire. And Martin O'Neill spoke about playing 2 strikers together. He says that Casper is a player that wants to do well. He loves the personality of the big striker, and some other interesting points. He referenced quite a lot Larsson and Sutton. He spoke about that in length, and he said that Celtic need to be able to change formation rather than this boring 4-3-3 that was implemented by Brendan Rodgers, and then tried to change. He kept on talking about the 4-3-3 formation, and I think that Celtic, although on paper it looked as if Celtic were setting up a 4-2-3-1 formation last year, the players always seem to revert back to this 4-3-3 scenario, and especially the passing side to side stuff. I think that Martin O'Neill is trying to get that out of Celtic, and he said that we should be able to play formations. Isn't a thing to him, isn't it? He said, look, it's a matter of playing a player 10 feet one way and 10 feet another way. It's for him, it's just play the bloody game. Another interesting point is the fact that we're still in dire need of players. You know, and it's not an interesting point. It's a freaking shambles that we haven't got more players in. We're still trying to get a goalkeeper. You know, we've got a good goalkeeper in. But if anything happens, God forbid, anything was to happen to our goalkeeper and he was to get injured, between me and you, I think that Ross Dohan is not the answer for Celtic. Anyway, Martin says that the players are still we're still trying to get players in, and the Bauer could still be happening. I think that one will happen, but when it comes to, he didn't look entirely happy, did he, Martin O'Neill? I mean, when you look at the body language of Martin, you know, he just, he knows. And I wish Martin just had the set of balls to just go, look, we need players in. And when it comes to it, you know, I mean, even right at the start, that says it all. That says it all for me. Martin knows the squad isn't strong enough going into the season, but he has a reluctance to say anything negative towards the hierarchy at Celtic, and that was always a fear of mine going into this season. It was always a fear, but when you see the manager, I mean, he gives a little smile there, but I don't know, right through the video, it's not the mannerisms of a manager that's 100% happy with his squad. Do you know? It's going to be a long season for Martin. Do you know, he didn't like the press conferences. He was getting bored of the press conferences towards the end of last season. And if this is him just on day one, do you know, when you look back to the press conference last year with Brendan Rodgers at the beginning of the season. Now, that interview was around about 23 minutes, if my memory serves me right. I might be wrong. It was in the 20 minutes. This interview put out by Celtic with Martin O'Neill was only 10 minutes 60, what was it, 18 seconds, 16 seconds, 10 minutes 16 seconds. When you look at that and the correlation between the manager's not entirely happy, it makes you wonder. Over 30 people in the media team, less than 30 players in the first team squad. Fucking diabolical. They'll go for an old keeper, it's in the DNA. Martin O'Neill is just wise. He knows a divided club. Fans gives him no chance on the park. Why sabotage his own objective as a manager to win games? As a manager to win games, you have to have the right tools at your disposal. Right now, we are squad-wise way weaker than the way that we finished the season. And remember, it was a bad Celtic team last season. Having brought in the quality. Now, Martin O'Neill did say he's going to have to play Camilo Duran on the wing to start with. He knows that we've not brought in wingers. He knows that Yang and Tinekti are not the answer. By admitting that he's going to have to play Duran on the wing, it's not where I see him playing long term. He sees a front two of Duran and Casper Ho terrorising the Scottish SPFL. Absolutely terrorising the defences of the SPFL. But he's going to have to play him on the wing because Yang's not going to be here in a couple of months. He's away to some Asia Cup thing. and we haven't got the players in. We'll want Martin to do as well as possible. We'll think we can do a treble. I still think there'll be 3 more players. Engels, Hatate, and Johnson will leave. Definitely, we needed players in before that. Before any of the three, before Hatate leaves, before Arne Engels leaves, before, God forbid, that we sell Alistair Johnston. It's Jesus. Yeah, what a fantastic time to be a Celtic fan. The board needs to have a party in my house. Hey, Celtic board, I'm watching. Fuck off and buy some players. Some idiot's blocking comments 5 times I commented and didn't get through. Nobody's blocking comments. Nobody's blocking comments. It's maybe what you're saying isn't allowed by YouTube. Anyway. Yeah, you're probably being blocked by YouTube AI if you're... anyway, moving on. I stated we put in low ball offers to other teams. Other teams will do the same to us. Yes, exactly. You said the fact that you liked Moyes called Martin O'Neill directly about Alistair Johnston. You can't then moan about Martin O'Neill coming on and airing the dirty laundry in public. It's not how he works. Yeah. It's not putting your dirty laundry out, just saying that, you know, admitting that the squad is not where you want it. The body language tells us, mate, right? The body language of Martin O'Neill tells us that that's not a man that is 100% happy with the squad. Sorry. He's shite at poker. You know, right at the beginning, we smile because he's talking about, but the body language of Martin O'Neill is not someone that's 100% happy with this, the squad. And I think that Martin O'Neill would get a lot more respect from fans if he come out and said, look, yeah, I think that we need... If he come out and said, yeah, we need more, he would only be stating what the rest of us already bloody obviously know. Because the size of the squad is way down. Way down. Martin O'Neill said in December that we needed... Well, when he came back in January, that we needed players in to enhance the squad. All those players have gone and we haven't replaced them. Martin O'Neill's starting back the season with a threadbare squad. That's all I'm saying. 1 year on, he has the same position as Brendan Rodgers. Yes, he is. And 1 year on, we only have 1 year left of Martin O'Neill. So we'll wait and see. He stated there's more to come. Yes, he did state there's more to come. But how many? Because right now, I think we need a minimum before Arne Engels is sold. Before Hatate is sold. We need 5 players in to make the squad better. We're running threadbare on defenders. Well, we're not running threadbare on defenders. We're running quality-wise on defenders. We're running thin. And Martin O'Neill knows that. When it comes down to it, we just need to wait and see what the transfer window brings. West Ham have had 2 bids rejected. 2 bids now rejected from Celtic. We'll wait and see how that one pans out. Let me just see if we can get a little bit of an update. No. Yeah, there's been 2 bids rejected for Arne Engels. And Celtic are well within the right to hold out for 25 million. Now, the winger that we looked at the last transfer window that we were heavily linked with, that Rangers have tried to make a move for, is how close can we get? We're generally making really good progress. So we are making good progress on a certain winger that we went for in the last transfer window. From Martin Spencer today, it's very clear as day we have no plan. Get that one up. We have no plan and we're just being reactive instead of being proactive. It's an interesting one, Stephen. We all know that this is the way that Celtic are. We all know that we're being reactive, because if we were being proactive, we've signed 2 players the whole window. I don't know. Keeping the cards close to us nowadays is when other teams have hijacked us before. I don't think it's about people hijacking our offers. I think it's about the lack of transfer activity. The board is frustrating me and making an old man look tired and stressed. It's clear Martin is worried about the team's strength. First always is always rejected. Well, if we went in with 10 million, it's no more cheap deals for the English. No, definitely not. And that lot are better than last season. I'd expect it to be close this year. Rab, come on, have a word with yourself, man. They always say that they're coming, don't they? And it never happens. Right, it is Friday evening. Why is all that money being held back? I have no idea. Do you think they might go for Srirachi as his deal has stalled? I don't think so. I don't. If Celtic were going to go for Srirachi, they would have opened up negotiations with him. I think that his wage demands were probably that excessive that Celtic thought he wasn't worth it. I don't know. We've got young Montgomery in that position. Has there been any update to the Celtic site today, or have Celtic just been too busy? Let's see if they've updated the new man. No, still no Casper on the team sheet. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? Martin O'Neill did sound deflated. I think you sound deflated. I'm only saying what I think. The Hassan deal is off, so the club have moved on, says Big Arab. Is that deal definitely off? There's still in negotiations from what I'm seeing regarding Hassan's situation, because there's been a lot asking of doubting. The information I shared was clear regarding the club's negotiations. Hassan's team has changed some of the terms on the transfer fee and some of the bonuses. Also, the club appeared with an even better offer. Celtic are still working as they have agreed personal terms for the player. So yeah, it looks like that deal isn't off altogether. We'll wait and see. Goalkeeper is a must. If Sinisalo gets injured, we're in big trouble. Yes, we are, because I said that already. I don't think that Ross Dohan's the man. He shipped in goals. Shipped in goals when he played. MLS offered 900 grand for Srirachi. Anyway. Yeah. Right, that's me done and dusted for this evening's Friday night. Thought I would jump on. I thought there would be a bit more information maybe coming in about players that we're looking at, but this comes down to Nicholson. It really just comes down to Nicholson. And let's just see, there's a West Ham update again. No, it's the same one. Right, let's get a couple more comments before we finish off. Sriracha 1.5 million, no brainer for fuck's sake. Celtic could have got him for less than that. We could have got him for about 1.3 or something, but they didn't watch it. Doing a watch along the other shift? Not a chance, Stephen Sloan. When did I ever do a watch along for that mob? Never. Absolutely never. Not a chance. The service. Good service is what we're needing from midfield, and obviously the wings. We have the right lads up front to put chances away. In midfield and wings are essential. That's why we're going to be playing Camilo Duran on the wing for the first couple of games of the season. Hassan's a very expensive punt. What was wrong with the likes of Tawanda at Motherwell? What do the board do all week? No idea. Very little, as it may sound. Anyway, I'm off to get some food because I'm starving. Have an absolutely fantastic evening, Celtic fans, wherever you are. Thank you to everyone who has watched along this evening. I'll be back first thing tomorrow morning, and then hopefully there might be some more Celtic news then. I shall see you in the morning. Have a fantastic evening, Celtic fans, wherever